it's me, Erin. Thanks for joining us on the More Love podcast. Do not tell Rebecca, but this podcast is about empathy. She likes people to think she's dead inside, but the truth is she's a big-time feeler who has truly helped me uncover that empathy is my superpower. Oh, here she comes.
Hey, bestie.
Hi, love.
What are you doing?
Oh, just getting ready to host a podcast.
A podcast? About what?
Life. Our life as best friends, who are more like sisters.
Yay! I love us, and I can't wait to share our stories with the world.
Especially the ones that involve us pushing each other, right? To be our most authentic selves.
Oh, man. Okay.
Do you think there'll ever be a time that I don't comment on the intro?
No. I just told you I'm going to make up a dance. I'm going to choreograph that tonight.
Yeah, I like that. And you know what I really like is how you're officially all in for the podcast right now. And do you want to know how I know that?
How?
You have a dedicated notebook.
Yep.
You just bought that today. Yep. It's got flowers all over it.
This is my planner that I'm going to take notes on things that I see during the week or conversations we have every morning at 8:45 on the dot. Today you were 2 minutes late and I thought you were mad at me.
I know.
I was ready to text you and say, am I being punished for something?
Because you didn't answer the phone yesterday.
I know.
And then I noticed that you have some multicolored pens over there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know.
And that's how I know that you're all in for the podcast.
But I didn't buy these yesterday. I bought them on the way here.
Right, which is why you were late.
I know.
And what happened when you got to my house? What did you say?
I said, don't kill me. Mm-hmm. I bought you something.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what exactly.
I said,
I said, do you realize that we have 12 minutes to get to the podcast? And you said, I had to go to Target.
I did. And then I got distracted because you got the good Target.
I know.
You moved far away from me.
I know.
You moved in a different
25
county.
minutes.
It's 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's
I know.
I have to pack an overnight bag when I come visit you.
Oh my gosh.
Even my kids are like, we going to Aunt Erin's, stay in the night.
Spend the whole weekend there.
I know. Yep. 30 minutes is a long way.
I know. But I absolutely love that you showed up with 12 minutes to spare and you have a whole bag full of stuff from Target and you just said, I'm ready to do this.
I bought 3 bathing suits and 3 pairs of sandals too.
I can't.
I didn't bring those in to show you.
Of course you didn't. You left those in the car?
I did.
Yep. Classic. Absolutely
I'll show you when we get home.
Yep.
They're so good.
Yep. On with the show.
Mm-hmm. But I did buy you something. I'm going to give you a manicure after we're done.
You bought me some press-on nails?
I did. Press-on Lee press-ons. They didn't have a coupon, but they were on sale.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that.
But you're going to pay me.
I'm surprised that you're not doing my nails during the podcast.
I know I was going to, but we're not set up that way today.
Oh. Well, we will be next time.
I know. It's perfect.
Yep. So today, we are not talking about Target. We are not talking about your new notebook. We're not talking about the fact that the time clock is posted in the wrong area of the studio.
I already ordered you a new one. It's on its way.
Can we talk about that for 1 second? Then I promise we'll get into what we're talking about today. Mm-hmm. So Mental Health 101, as a therapist, one of the things that we are trained early on is that when you're engaging with a client, it's important to maintain eye contact and to talk with them at all times in a way that you're engaged and you're interested and you're curious. Is that why when you
make me talk about hard things, it's always on FaceTime?
Oh, absolutely. So we have to be making eye contact.
When you FaceTime me, I'm like, here we go.
Because otherwise, if you're talking to me about something important and I'm over here writing an email, how much does that show that I care, right? It doesn't.
That's a really good point.
So here's the thing about clocks. I can't make eye contact with you during this podcast and also see how far we're into the time. So in order to see the time, I have to literally avert my eyes, look at the time, and look back. What if you're in the midst of something incredibly important? What message does that send to you?
You'd be like, she don't care.
That's right.
I know, you're right.
It sends the message to you that I'm more interested in the time. So as a mental health provider, we have clocks everywhere.
all over
there
here.
Are clocks next to the chairs. There are clocks on the wall. There's a clock on our wrist. There is a clock everywhere you can possibly imagine. So that as you're in the midst of talking, watch this eye aversion here, right? Did you see that?
I did.
Right?
Can I break in on this just for a second?
I think it's appropriate, Scott, since it's your clock.
So first of all, it's not a clock, it's a timer, which shows elapsed time for how long you're recording.
Yeah.
Now, if you had clocks everywhere, obviously you could look at a clock and say, all right, we started at exactly 11:18. And now I know that we're going to be. But when you're having a conversation, a lot of times you can't think, when exactly did I start? I don't know how long we're doing.
You're right.
Totally fine. However, could we have the countdown clock or count up clock in multiple places around the studio?
Well, so that's something that I've worked at for the last couple of years. Now, we've been open for 5 years, and it's been a challenge. I used to have, now I have the clock, so where I have the same clock in here in the control room, so I know exactly what your clock says. Now, if you want, I can get another clock.
Yeah. I need
and
one.
put it so that it's maybe not eye level, but it's forward, look where you're looking at it over Rebecca's head.
Yeah.
Yes, that is perfect. So she still thinks I'm making eye contact with her and we're having a conversation, but boop, quick eye divert. Did you see that? Watch again. Boop. You didn't even see it. No, you didn't even felt it.
How long did you practice that in grad school?
I mean, there's a lot of tricks of the trade here.
I know.
I paid a lot for that education, and that is a really big takeaway.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think this is important, Scott, that you are going to be able to help other podcast guests be able to better manage their time with this mental health strategy.
And still engage in conversation.
Right.
Look at you. Free advice.
Thank you.
How much would you charge for that?
Thank you. That's at least $260 an hour right there. So,
wow.
Yeah.
It's like in the wrong business.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. So you guys are welcome.
Thank you.
It essentially is what I'd like to say.
I'm going to run out to the store and get a new timer.
Okay. Thank you.
I already ordered it on Amazon. It's on its way.
That is Scott, our producer.
That's right.
Producer. We're going to include Scott in a lot of our conversations because we love Scott.
I know. He's great.
He had our earphones ready for us when we came in here today.
I am so impressed.
Our water.
I know.
There's water out here.
I know.
So awesome.
And we also share a brain, and we asked about these hat covers.
Well, we'll get back to that because you do know we're wearing those 100%.
And we're putting them on right at the end of this.
Absolutely.
In fact, we should put them on right now.
I know.
But it might mess up my lion's mane. So we'll wait till the end.
Yes, right. So if you're still with us, today's session is getting to know Erin and Rebecca. And here's why this is important. If you're going to be hearing from us about empathy over the next however many years we're doing this podcast, it's probably incredibly important to get some sense of who we are, how we think about things, how we know each other, how we want to engage with one another, so people can decide whether or not, A, we're really worth listening to, and two, which one of our personalities they most identify with. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because I think that it would be rare for someone to embody both qualities of who we are. They'd be a pretty screwed up individual, honestly.
I think they'd be incredibly well balanced.
You think so? I can't imagine our two souls just uniting. We have to be two separate bodies. The universe is not able to handle that.
Oh, no.
But because we are student affairs moms at heart, because we spent so much time in higher ed at that time in our career, we had to do it in icebreaker form.
Yeah.
It's icebreaker. Maybe they call them fire starters, right? Because icebreaker just might not be
politically correct anymore.
Or positive enough. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, it's totally fine.
Hilarious.
But we decided that the best way to get to know us would be that we would each secretly write 5 questions that we needed the other person to answer about us. Have we shared these questions with each other?
Oh, no. That's why this is going to be great.
That's why it's going to be so
great. Do you realize
great.
we both have H last names?
What?
I was just thinking about things we have in common.
What does that have to do with
I was just thinking about things we have in
anything?
common, and I'm like, I was thinking about our names. I don't know why, but then I just realized it never dawned on me we both have H last names.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Did you realize that?
Yeah, I probably did. Wasn't sure when it would be relevant, but it's now. It is. It's right this second. Yeah. So,
side note,
first thing number one, apparently. Yeah. And so in this episode, we're going to take people on a behind the scenes of Rebecca and Erin. Buckle in, folks. Buckle in. Who we are as people, who we are as co-hosts, who we are as best friends. Just essentially co-workers. Yeah, you're right.
Sister wives.
Got that.
And moms.
What does I think sister wives might mean something different than what you think it means.
What I think it means is like we have a communal family where we raise our families together.
Yeah. What, like we're not sleeping with each other's husbands.
Oh, no.
You know?
Oh, no.
I think that's what happens in the sister wives is.
They do?
Yeah. Like we would
That's
share.
like a legit thing?
Absolutely.
Oh.
There's
Okay,
there's whole
what do I need to
shows
say
on
then?
it. You know?
We're just one big family unit?
Yeah.
Oh.
Communal lovers.
Oh, that doesn't imply we're sleeping together.
Well, you and I?
Anybody. No, the whole family is. We just sleep in one bed. One big bed.
One just gigantic bed.
Hilarious. Okay.
All right. So we have our questions. I would like to start with my first question. So I'm going to ask you a question and you need to answer the question about me, and then we'll go back and forth. Okay? Question number 1. What is my go-to coffee order?
Every morning at 8:45, Erin calls me every single day. Not the weekends. We don't really talk on the weekends, but every single morning.
That.
I know.
But we're both fine with that.
I know.
It's like we need a break, or it's like
No,
family
there's never
time,
a break.
or I don't know what
There's never
it
a break.
is. But
Okay. So every morning, 8:45, like clockwork. Unless your kid is giving you a hard time and not getting out of the car.
Right.
You call me and we go to Dunkin' Donuts. The people now know us there.
yes, Sam.
They know both of us.
Hi,
because,
Sam.
Yes, Sam knows your order and
Yeah.
also knows my comments about your order.
Right, and yeah.
Yeah. So you, hi, may I please have
Yep.
a small iced caramel swirl latte with extra caramel and oat milk? And I always yell, an extra whipped cream. Double caramel.
Make sure you give her the extra caramel. She needs the extra caramel. You
And then they
always
laugh.
say that.
And then sometimes you say, and a side of snack and bacon.
Snack and
And then I say, oh, fat bastard today. And
Today I got a free
sometimes-
donut hole.
I know. I went to Dunkin' Donuts. They didn't give me anything.
No, of course not. They gave it to me in a little Dunkin' Donuts shot glass, and it was awesome.
I'm
Oh my
surprised you
God,
liked
you're
it.
absolutely right. That is my order.
Every day. Yesterday I changed it up. I got you a new drink to try.
I know. It was frozen coffee, something or
With
other.
caramel.
It had caramel in it?
Sure did.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
know you. I
That was
know
nice,
you.
but that was a nice little 2 p.m. snack.
With decaf.
Thank you.
I know.
I appreciate
I watch
that.
out for
I
you.
appreciate that. That's good. Okay,
I know
you
go.
nailed that.
Sometimes you get a sandwich.
I know.
And it's always cut in half
I
because
know.
you
I have
only
to have
eat
it
half.
cut in half.
You only drink
No.
half the coffee.
I know.
Always.
I get it cut in half because I think I'm only going to eat half, and then sometimes during the day I eat the whole thing. I think
that's
it's
a
just
second meal, so it doesn't
psychological.
count.
I don't know why, but
Yeah. Always cut in
know.
half.
I know.
Always. It cracks me up.
I know.
Every time.
I know.
May I please have?
Total. May I please have? All right, I love it.
And
you
the
nailed
birds.
it. You got
We've
that
now
one
named
right.
the birds that are next to the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes, they're
Okay.
very loud and nesting.
All right.
Okay,
You ready?
Ready. I'm ready.
Would Rebecca choose you as her partner on The Amazing Race? And why? Follow up. Would Erin choose Rebecca as her partner on The Amazing Race? And why?
Would you choose me? 100% you would. Hands down.
And why?
There's
But
no
why?
question. You would be thinking this is a fun experience. We're going to have so much fun together. No one cares if we win. Oh my gosh, we're going to have the best stories to
And
tell.
outfits.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have matching outfits, matching bandanas, you know, the whole thing. We're probably going to be stopping at some random bar somewhere.
Right.
We're going to be talking to the locals. You're just going to, it's not going to be about the amazing race. It's
Oh,
going
no,
to be
it's not
about
about winning.
the amazing adventure. Yeah.
That's right.
So you, 100%, I would be the first person that you would call.
And would you accept it?
I would accept it. We would need to talk first. Surprise,
You would
surprise,
accept it.
about what the goals were. Are the goals to win, or is the goal to have a good time? Because if the goal's to have a good time, I would do it. But here's the thing: I'm not jumping in any water,
I know. And
and I'm not doing
reality
any
is-
height challenges. And we've already talked about whether or not either one of us is shaving our heads.
Oh, hell.
We're not doing it.
I do like wigs on Amazon.
I know.
However,
So you could rebound.
here's the problem. You would initially say that, and then we would get there, and the competition inside of you would take over,
know.
and you would ask for a new
know.
partner and
I
leave
know.
me in some third world
I wouldn't
country.
leave you there, but we'd have to talk
You'd pay
about
for me
it.
to get sent home. I know. I know you so well.
We'd have to have it written down that you were like, this is for fun, not for winning. And then I'd have to keep reading that over and
know.
over and over again.
You still wouldn't buy into it. You would take it
when
over.
when the going got tough, I would struggle.
I know.
So would I pick you as my partner?
Be Be honest. Because I can take it.
It depends.
I can take it.
If I'm looking for a good time and to travel all around the world and do the craziest things, 100% you're going to be my partner. And we're going to have the best. If I want to win, there's not a chance.
I knew it.
There's not a chance.
I know. And here's what would happen. Because this just happened recently. You went on a vacation with a different friend.
Yeah.
And although I was included, and because I'm broke, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
You decided to go with someone who has money.
Yeah.
And then you would have an even better time because normally we'd have to stay in a hostel. However, you went so far. You're so empathetic. This I'm going to cry.
Oh.
You made a point to come and see me. First, you were going to do it secretively, but it turned out not to be that way. You came to see me the day before you left, and you handed me, I should have a picture of it. You handed me envelopes. I think it was 9 envelopes, one for each day you were gone, with a handwritten card about how much you love me and I could never be replaced as your friend and you wouldn't do any of the things that we would do on our trips. And then you felt guilty when you almost ate a snack that we shared on the trip. You disclosed that later. And every single day I opened the card, and even my daughter was like, "Can we open the card from Erin today?" And I just went like, "Oh, my heart."
And then did you see, I even went so far as to print, I went to Walmart.
At least 6 pictures of our life.
Pictures for each one.
I know. 18 years worth of pictures. I saved every single one of them. I mean, talk about, that's what husbands and wives do. But,
Well, I knew you were going to struggle.
I did struggle.
I think I started every single card with, "I still love you,"
I know,
or "You're still my favorite," or because I wanted to make sure front row center that you knew that above
But you took
all
the time
else.
to do that prior to leaving to go have such a fun time. And I was happy for you. I mean, I wasn't like, don't go or jealous. I mean, I was jealous. I really wanted to go. But it just, next level. Next level.
I want to make sure you're taken care of.
Beautiful.
Oh,
So
he's so nice. I love it.
So I'm very aware that you wouldn't pick me.
If I wanted to win, I wouldn't pick you.
And then I can also see you in the camera, Rebecca. I'm thinking of you.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
You would wear a T-shirt with my face.
Absolutely.
I know.
I'd have some
In
bracelet
honor.
you made me, and I'd be sporting that.
I know.
Yeah.
Because
you'd be with
you would
me.
never want me to feel.
That's right. I wouldn't want you to feel left out.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't want you to feel like I was winning something without you being a part of it.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a pin.
I appreciate
a pin or something.
all of the things.
Yeah.
But I can also hear.
Yeah.
I'm not your number one for everything.
Just for if I wanted to win.
For competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also don't pick me for long game partners, ever.
That is true.
You also don't pick me for any card game partners.
That's true, too.
I'm very aware of my role in your life.
I know. But to be fair, you are a lot better at yard games than I think anyone would assume.
You're right. It's just like when you are surprised that I read books.
Right.
I know.
I know.
Yard
every
games,
time. I've known you for 18 years, and every time you take out a book, I'm like, she reads? Is that so rude?
Yes. You also assume I can't aim.
Well, but then you come out with ladder ball, and I'm always like, wow.
I know.
She's pretty good.
I know.
She's got her heels on.
And my cocktail.
She's got some tank top with fringe that you'd think would get in the way of her throwing. It doesn't.
Nope. Nailing it.
And then everyone is sort of surprised. You're holding some glass of wine in your right hand.
Always.
Yeah.
I can only do it with cocktails.
Yeah, right, because you got to be balanced.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
Number 3. Pretend to be me checking out at a store.
I can't.
What do you say?
I can't. Well, everybody knows that when we go to the store, we have to go a certain way, no matter what. And if I'm driving with her, great, because then we're on the same page. If I'm meeting her, we're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Because I'm always late.
Yeah.
And then when I'm late, I don't follow the rules.
Right.
And then you catch me and I'm in big trouble.
But you always know where to find me.
Always.
Because you know if I've started first that I'm only like a little bit of ways down the regular journey I take.
The other part about shopping with us is we're always yelling at each other.
Yes.
Through the aisles.
Yes.
And bickering.
Yes.
And without a doubt, 3 people ask us if we're siblings or if we're business owners decorating our store.
Right.
Because specifically when we went shopping for your Christmas tree, we had 6
carts.
6 carts falling over the brim full. 6 carts.
Right.
And that wasn't even enough stuff.
And people are like, oh my gosh, do you guys own a store that you're decorating?
Nope,
We're like, no, this is Aaron's living
your
room.
house.
It's fine.
So it's always an adventure when we go. And in fact, I think we tried to hire a film crew to come and film us once because
it'd be interesting.
So anyway, so that's our dynamic in the store.
Right.
But then we go to the checking out process.
Yeah.
And I want to hide.
Yeah, I know.
Because you need to engage not only with the cashier, but with the people in front of us and behind us. And you're just so complimentary and you engage and care.
I need them to be seen.
Yep.
I need them to know.
Specifically the cashier.
Yep.
I can't stand it.
I know.
Hi, ma'am. Or in fact, you look at their name tag. Hi, Robin. Oh my God, I love that name, Robin. That's so beautiful. I bet there's a special significance of why you were named that. Did you get that shirt here? Because I would like to get that. Where? And it's probably hideous, but she's just engaging constantly, and it takes way longer than it needs to be. And I'm annoyed.
Every single time.
Every single time. And then I give you the look and
I
you
know.
ignore me.
I know.
Every time.
I know. I just need
Sometimes
to
you
make
try
sure.
to include me in the conversation and then I give you the
I'd
extra
stop
look.
doing that because that just gets awkward and uncomfortable. Because you give like a half answer.
Right.
Or you'll give like a, eyes up.
I think we have an appointment. We got to go.
Yeah, I know. My favorite part though is I'll say, oh my God, Robin, I really like that shirt. Where did you get it? Right. And she'll talk about it and we'll have that whole conversation. Then you and I walk out the store. We both get out the double doors.
Always.
And you'll say, just as quietly as possible, do you really like Robin's shirt? And I'll say, no. And you'll be like, but you had to talk about it, didn't you?
I know.
You had to talk. And I'd be like, yeah, I had to. I had to make sure that Robin felt seen and appreciated. And Robin wore that shirt today because she felt really good about it. And I want to make sure that someone noticed it. Did I like Robin's shirt? I didn't.
I know.
But,
I know. That's
someone
why
has
I can't
to see
trust
it.
you when you give me compliments.
Well,
I know.
I don't give you a lot of compliments.
That's true.
So when
That's
I do,
true.
you
You're
should
honest
probably
with
just
me.
take it. Yeah.
In fact, you give me advice. We'll call it advice.
Yeah.
And
right.
I don't take it.
Right. That's a good one. I think you did good on that.
Okay. Okay, your turn.
Okay. I think it's your turn.
I mean.
Oh, yeah. My turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was Rebecca's first celebrity crush and why?
Oh.
Think Channel Mini-Me, a.k.a. Sawyer.
Yep.
Now, quite a bit older than you.
That's right. That's very true. You were born in a whole different year.
Yeah, two
than I
weeks
was.
older than you. So I'm much more mature and blossomed earlier.
Well, yes. Yeah. I'm going to say, I absolutely love that I'm about to say this name, and I can't wait for you to be like, who? Who is that? Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No.
Oh,
however,
excuse me.
I know who he is.
Yes.
It is a Jonathan. Come on.
Jonathan who?
Brandis.
What?
Do you remember Jonathan Brandis?
No. Who's that? Who's
oh my
Jonathan
God. He was like the
Brandis?
one with the hair flip. I'm going to show you a picture
What do
of
you
him.
mean the hair flip?
I can't
what was
remember
he
which
in?
show
You don't even remember what show he was on?
No.
He was in those karate movies.
Yes. And he was in some.
What karate movie? The Karate Kid?
No.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Jonathan Brandis.
He committed suicide.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know, it's very sad.
no.
He was always on the Teen Bop, like 17 magazines.
Did we have to say that he committed suicide? I feel like now I need to talk about that.
I know, we're not going to talk about that because that was not the point of this. I just was in love with him. He was. But Jonathan Taylor Thomas actually is younger than me, I believe.
That's why I was in love with him.
Oh, my God. He was the voice of Simba, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
He was.
Yes. You
His
didn't know that?
hair. I had posters.
Jonathan.
All the things. Jonathan Brandis?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. He was in the original It.
He was? He was the little kid?
Yeah.
You liked some horror movie show guy?
No.
He was a big teeny bopper.
Heartthrob. Heartthrob. Yes. You know him.
On 17 magazine and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know
he
him.
actually looks a lot like Jonathan Taylor Thomas. They both had the hair.
Yes,
Was the hair a
they were
thing in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
The hair was a thing.
The famous Bruce Willis.
No, it wasn't the 80s. It was the 90s. In the 80s, we were under 10.
Well, I was.
He was in the movie Ladybugs.
Yes.
Oh,
He
yeah.
played yes.
Okay.
My girls
Okay.
just watched Ladybugs because they're soccer.
Okay.
And then I had them watch that and I realized this is inappropriate. They should not be watching this
Yeah,
movie.
right.
I watch a lot of those 90s movies and
Yeah.
I think we were allowed to watch
We didn't
that.
get it at the time. We didn't get it.
Sidekicks.
Sidekicks. That was that. That was it.
He was Captain Crunch.
Did you write him any letters or anything? Did you you did?
I
You
probably
absolutely
wrote.
did.
Well, I'm pretty sure I wasn't allowed to.
Right,
look
you
at,
snuck it?
Huh?
You snuck it?
Oh,
You
I
wrote a
thought you said,
letter
"Are you
in
sucking?"
school? Or,
No, I'm pretty sure I wasn't allowed to look at teeny bopper magazines. I
Yeah.
certainly wasn't allowed to watch MTV or any of that.
Oh,
My
yeah.
mom was like, "Oh
Right.
no!"
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure I probably had a secret diary.
Yep.
That would write, and I would
Yep.
always sing the "I Swear" song.
Oh, yeah.
From
Yep, to him? Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
What's that? All
This
for
is-
one.
Yeah.
I swear.
This is where we need one of those little clips here,
yeah.
Scott, where literally you just start playing I swear. Like the moon and the stars. in the
That's my
sky.
favorite.
There's only a copyright issue with that.
Oh, are we allowed to sing it?
What if we're singing it? It's fine if we're singing it.
Of iPad.
Hilarious.
That's all right.
Hilarious.
That's all right. Stop
My favorite
singing.
part
Stop
is
singing. We can't.
whenever we're in the car and a song comes on, we always have a story, either one of us associated with it. The other thing, my favorite thing to do, I'm sorry, this is what happens. My other thing, speaking of songs, is Erin will be telling a story and I will immediately yell, country. In fact, we're going to do this next. And then she has to sing the story in a country twang.
country twang.
And then I'll change
and
it
then
up.
she'll be like, rap. And then I'll have to do that.
Right.
And then it'll be like, classical.
Right. We
Yep.
also do it with accents, and you suck at those.
I know.
Which is hilarious
I
because you
know.
try your best.
I
and
do
it's
every single.
always,
It always comes out the same.
always.
I know.
Every time.
I know.
But still
That's
fun.
a whole separate podcast
Still
right
fun.
there. I
You
love
know, my
it.
daughters always say to me, how do you and Erin talk about so many things? Where do you come up with things to talk about? I'm like, it doesn't matter.
I know.
It doesn't matter at all.
I know. Sometimes we're on the phone for 3 or 4 hours,
Easily.
and then I'm like, I have to work.
I know. And then
You never say that.
That's true. It's true. Or we go on trips and we never stop talking. In fact, I remember when our first trip to Canada, you are so empathetic. This is our first overnight. And we're in the room and I'm a terrible sleeper. You probably don't know that back in the day. And so I'm so excited and I'm like, no, you said, should we rent a movie? What did you say?
Oh, no, I said, you said, did you say we need to rent a movie or did I say we should rent a movie?
You said, I think we should rent a movie. This was back in the day when you could rent DVDs. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you better make sure we're going to watch, or I said something like, we better watch it.
Yeah, you said if we're going to rent a movie, we really need to watch it.
Right.
And I said, what, instead of making out all night? what did you think we were going to do? Yeah.
I meant you can't fall asleep because I would be
we're
up
gonna
watching
watch
it by
the
myself.
movie.
And so I think we rented the movie and then I was nonstop commenting on the movie. And at one point because you were so empathetic that you could not admit that you wanted to go to sleep so bad that you forced yourself to stay up. I think at one point you even started walking around because you did not want to fall
I didn't
asleep
want
on
you
me.
to feel alone.
I know.
I don't do
Now you
that
don't care.
anymore.
Oh, now
yeah,
it's-
now in the midst of a conversation, boom, you're like, are you still listening? I'm over here.
Out.
I
But
know.
see, yeah.
I know.
Yeah. That gone are those days.
So Jonathan Brandis.
Jonathan Brandis. Yep.
Jonathan
Sidekicks.
Brandis.
Big deal.
Okay. Okay, I love it. Is it my turn?
Yep.
What is one thing I do that makes you most uncomfortable?
Besides talking to randos at the store? I mean, I think that's it. I think that's it.
You don't like when I say, we need to talk about this.
Oh, I don't like that either. No.
Or
No.
you don't like after you've been trying to ignore my phone calls and I call you and you say, hello? And I'm like, what did you think that by not answering the phone, I was just going to go away? And you're like, I just don't want to talk about it.
No, I
and
didn't
I'm
think you were
like,
going to go away. I just thought you'd forget about it. And maybe now I know.
I wish people could see my face right now.
The face. that's the other thing I say to you.
Forget about it. It could be 8 years from now, and I'll be like, do you remember on May 31st of 2023 when you were wearing this and this is what happened?
I know. The other thing is when you force me to do the FaceTime or the Zoom meeting to talk about something, and I have to preface it by saying, you cannot do that. I'm going to tell you something, and you cannot do the face.
Yep.
And you need to keep your comments to yourself. You never do.
I don't ever.
I know.
And my face is I look up to the side, I shake my head, and
Sometimes
then I'll
you
look
lean
back
back.
down. Yep.
I know.
Sometimes I will look back down.
I know.
Sometimes I'll put my hands like this.
I know.
Yep.
I don't like when you do that either.
You don't like that? Does make you uncomfortable when I make you talk about things that you don't want to talk about.
You know what I do
Are we clear that 100.100% of the time, you always have to talk about it? We can't move on.
I know.
We can't move on past
I will
it.
still avoid it. But see, you help me to effectively communicate. And at the end of the day, I do feel better about it.
I know.
But I don't like how it feels like.
I know.
I don't like it.
I know.
Especially,
it makes you feel
when I'm
uncomfortable.
shamed or feeling judged or when I have to admit those kinds of things.
Yep.
I mean, granted, you're a safe place to land.
Yeah, I
know.
appreciate
And you're
that.
always accepting.
Thank you.
I mean,
I
that's a win.
appreciate that. But you know I'm really big on we just got to own it at all times. I don't care what it is that we're owning, but we have to own it.
I know.
Because I have to know that we're clear on what's happening here, and then everything else after that is cake.
But that's why we're always on the same page.
Right.
I think that's why that's why we're doing this podcast, right? Is because at the end of the day, we both lead from empathy in different kinds of ways, and it's safe. We've created this safe space where we can be honest and open and communicate. And I can say to you, I'm so sad you're going on this trip. I'm happy for you, but I'm so sad you're going on this trip because I'm afraid you're going to forget about me.
Yep.
I can say that out loud to you and not feel like an idiot. I mean, I do feel like an idiot because I'm 21 years old and should have my life together. But I can say that out loud. How many other women feel that way but can't say
but they can't say it. And what happens? You say that and I say, boo-boo, I would never forget about you. Thank you for telling me that's
or
how
you come back
felt.
and say, I can't believe you would even think that. And I'm like, that's the first thing I think.
Yep.
So once we started realizing each other's tendencies and patterns and you focus in on how each other thinks and feels and you're prepared for it, just like with The Amazing Race. I'm fully prepared that you wouldn't pick me and I'm not going to be offended by it because I know your motivations.
Right. We're going to still have to talk about it.
I know.
But because when I call someone else and they're my partner, you're not going to like that. But I know you're not going to like that.
If you pick someone that I might feel a certain way about.
I know. And it's fine. And then we talk about it and then we move on. I know.
Big deal. Big deal.
I know.
It's a lot of progress.
I love it.
I know.
It's good. You do a good job. Mm-hmm. Is it my turn?
I don't know.
No, it's your turn. That was mine. One thing I do that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Okay. How would Rebecca handle her childhood pet passing away?
Boy. My only experience with you having a pet that passed away, I hate to even say the pet's name. It might just trigger you, and I'm very aware of that. But Molson. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's fine. And do you know what you said?
That wasn't my childhood pet, but
I know. But that's my only experience that I have. And your response to that was, I'm never having another animal again. That was the worst experience of my life.
What about your cat?
Charles?
My response to your cat dying.
I know.
And then you made me go with you.
Of course. I'm not going to go by myself.
I can't even watch animal movies.
I know.
Let alone
it's true.
come with you to
it's
put
true.
my favorite cat on this
true.
planet down.
I know. Right. But,
and he pissed in your car
super.
and we did not clean it because we just wanted to be with him.
Charles. I know. Oh, sweet Charles.
We are weird.
Well, you are. Yeah. So you're like, for someone who likes to be dead inside,
mm-hmm.
you have this really close connection with animals.
Yes.
You and your children have named the groundhogs in the back of your house.
And on the side of the soccer field.
You have named them all food names. Condiments.
Mm-hmm. Honey
even
mustard.
better. Yeah.
Onion.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tomato.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I can't even imagine before
we even made up a song.
Oh, God. Before the world got to you and made you even harder than you were back then, I can't even imagine what it was like for you to lose a childhood pet. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine.
When my cat had cancer, the way she told me, she took me to church and we sat in a pew.
Okay.
Nobody else was there. Okay. And we sat in a pew and she's like, I've got to tell you something.
Okay.
It was not good. She had to take me to a public place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was not good. I'm pretty sure I went to therapy after that.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Yeah. I love that she took you to church.
100%.
Yeah.
And then when she found out I got a pet when I was older, she's like,
not good.
We got to talk about this.
I know.
Because
it's not going to be good.
I know. And now I have my 2 cats and
I know.
Remember when he got a sequin in his eye and I can't function?
I know.
I called you hysterically crying. It was during COVID. I'm like, he's going to lose an eye. What am I going to do? It was not
He
good.
literally got a sequin attached to his eye.
Like a contact.
I know.
When I brought him to the vet, they were like,
what the heck happened? How did this happen?
I have no idea.
I know.
He also is a Siamese and his eyes go, what?
I know.
So how did I even see it?
He didn't even know. He didn't know. I had a guinea pig named Jelly Bean.
I can't.
And I would read Jelly Bean stories every single night before bed.
Of course you did.
And when Jelly Bean died, I refused to believe that he was really gone. So we had to leave him downstairs.
The dead animal?
Yes. Jelly Bean.
Like visible or in a...
He was in his crate with his stuffed animals. You mean just
like a dead animal stiff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, rigor mortis and all.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
For at least 3 days, to the point where my mom had to come down and say, Erin, it's time. It's time. And I refused to just bury Jelly Bean in the ground because Jelly Bean would go outside and he would run in our front yard. He would go from flower bed to flower bed to flower bed. We could leave him out there for hours and hours at a time.
And he would just stay in the yard?
He would stay right in the yard.
God, I'd put a leash on him.
So
because I would be so afraid that he would run away.
I didn't realize how wonderful that was until right now. How amazing, right? So I got him a nice little box and I put some carrots in there.
Oh, so he could eat
and
in heaven?
Some lettuce in there.
Okay.
That's
and his
very 2 stuffed animals. And we put them in the box.
You probably made him a handmade pillow too.
Favorite
I'm sure you did.
In there. We put the top on it, and then we buried him under the tree in the front yard where he loved to spend all of his time. I did not realize until right now, like how old was I? I had to have been Carter's age, right? My son's age. I had to have been 7, 8, 9 years old. And,
it's the worst.
And I had to make sure that that guinea pig, even in its
dead state,
had carrots and lettuce just in case.
I know, just in case. I can't imagine what was going through your brain when the dirt was going on top of that box.
I know. I can
want
still
to get
bring
on
it
my
back
knees and hold you and be like,
thank you.
I know.
I can't go there. That was not good.
I could never bury an animal. I would relive that. That would be that thing in my brain. I would never get rid of it.
Yep.
I can't. That's why I can't watch animal movies.
They all die. I still see it today.
Every parent in the animal movie dies.
Yep.
Like, why do we have to have death in everything?
I know.
And
why
here's
can't
my
we just
kid.
Pretend it never happens.
Here's my kid. There's a snake at the lake house this weekend, and she's like, when you chop the head off, I want to open it up and see the brain. I'm like, I cannot. I said, what? Who are you?
Yep. Which one was that? Sawyer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sawyer.
Knew it.
And she's like, it'd be really great to see its guts too, and the heart if we can find it.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep, she's running a little anatomy
and I'm inside crying
lesson.
that they might be killing this mom and baby snake.
Yeah, right.
I almost dropped this.
Yep.
I can't. It's too much.
I know.
And then, of course, she got to tell me the whole, I can't.
I know.
Torture me.
I know. It's too much. It's too much.
I know. I can't even, I do go fishing, but I have a really hard time with it.
Because you...
What if they die?
Well, you just... Oh, yeah, because if you hook it wrong...
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I feel different about fish.
You do?
Yeah. That's hard
Someday
for
we'll
me
tell the story,
too.
but you wouldn't hold that big ass one you got.
No, we can show that video.
Oh, that was good.
No, I tried.
I know, but that one lived. That one lived.
Yeah,
but still, I'm
I know.
very
I don't know
like
why
now
I
it's
feel
hurt.
different
It's
about
got, do they
fish.
heal?
Now I feel bad that I feel different about fish. Gosh, this is a whole podcast in and of itself, is me going through my day to day. I'll give you such a prime example of this. I was in the bathroom before today's episode, and there's this sign on the wall that says something like, live your dreams, some inspirational thing. And I'm like, I wonder who put that on the wall. I wonder if they feel that way. How did they feel? Process? This is what happens when I'm in there. Just to tinkle before coming in here.
Oh, and
right?
You go through that whole thing.
And I'm like, who bought that? Why did they put that on there? Scott didn't buy that. He did not see that sign and think that's the sign that needs to go on the wall. Isn't it interesting that the blue in the background of that matches the color blue? Did they do that on purpose? Someone paid close attention to detail. I wonder if anyone's ever recognized that. This is what happens for me every single moment of every single day.
That's really interesting because now that we're talking about this, when I was a little kid, I used specifically alphabet cereal. Do you remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I for whatever reason, those were alive. And they had names.
Well, they were in the commercial.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
It had eyes and everything.
I had a hard time eating them.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because I was 100% convinced that,
that they were real.
Yes. Not that I was that I was murdering, not that I was eating something that was alive, just like I'm hurting you.
Yeah.
And you have a story.
Yeah.
Because you're letters.
I love that for you. I love that for you. That is absolutely going to be one of the things that you wish you didn't say
I know.
on air.
Can you see that? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I see what you were thinking.
Yes.
I accept
but I never
that
felt
that's
that way about meat like you did.
Oh, I
know. I never had.
I was a vegetarian for 12 years.
I never thought this chicken
was sacrifice for me. But that alphabet cereal, watch out for that letter A with those eyes. Watch out, running it right in the mouth.
Right?
Not good. Not good.
Just alphabets.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. That is going to come back at some point.
It's alphabets, by the way.
Oh,
you're right.
Well, it is when Rebecca's eating it.
Oh my God! I'm not going to be able to look at that cereal. Oh, that was
all right.
That was
I just had to avert my entire head to look at the time to come back because I didn't want to take away. Especially that's a great time when you're telling me about that experience you had. What if right in the middle of you telling me about the alphabets, I'm like, what the heck time is it? Are we close? That would have felt terrible.
I know.
Right?
I know. You're right.
So for the last 5 or so minutes, I think it's important to put these on.
Okay, but I need to ask you the last question.
Scott's wife made these.
She did.
We definitely, these are camera covers, but we both thought that they were Rastafarian hats.
Yeah, I need my lion's mane.
Deep down, do I wish it was a Rastafarian hat? I do.
100%.
Mine needs to be a little bit to the side.
It could always be a Rastafarian hat if you actually want to embrace that religion.
I look French.
You look like a beret.
Oui. Yeah. Yeah. I think we need to wear these for the last few questions.
Okay.
Camera covers by day, hats by podcast. I think they look really nice. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Scott's wife, for making these.
Yeah.
We liked them.
Well, then mine's falling off.
We absolutely thought these were hats.
100%.
We thought they were like props, here for our, Man, well, they are now.
Oh, my God, props. I got to write that down in my notebook.
Put it in your notebook. Yep.
Must. Next week.
All right. I have my very last question.
Okay.
Oh, I have to decide. No, I know which one it is.
Oh, my God, it's June. Today's June.
Yep.
Today's the first day of June. You know what else happened? What? We stole somebody's password for Netflix.
Who?
Our friend Tina. Well, we didn't steal it. She set it up on our phone. Oh,
you mean your family? I thought you meant me.
No. She shared her password to Netflix.
Yeah.
And Sawyer was so excited because, we don't have that.
Yeah.
And she's been watching it today. Big screen. It said, This is not your household. You can no longer access this. And she was like, Mommy, Netflix is gone. I'm like, those were the Glory Day girls. Gone.
Yep.
You're going to have to watch the TV we have.
They're on to us.
Yeah. So that
Or
would
you
mean,
have
that
to
told
pay-
me realize it was June. I go, what is it, June 1st? Because I think they started making announcements, but because I don't have regular TV with commercials or whatever.
Fascinating how they know.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to use yours when I get home because I know your Netflix password.
Yeah.
I mean, really
it's
complicated.
real hard to remember.
Really complicated.
Don't tell Mark.
So, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did you just ask the last question? Oh, yeah. Yes, you did. You did the childhood pet.
Oh, yeah.
So my last question for you. Please give an example of a time when you questioned my empathy.
Am I allowed to talk about it on the air?
Only specific examples. Are you writing it in your notebook? You got to write it before you answer it?
No, I'm writing bring the props.
Oh, okay.
That's my to-do list.
Okay. Did you need me to repeat the question?
No. A time that I questioned your empathy. Actually, it made me feel better about myself.
Oh, okay.
It made me feel better that I don't have necessarily a specific example. It just made me feel like it's okay to feel a certain way sometimes, specifically when you're angry.
Yeah.
And
You going to talk about the airport example?
the one that most recently happened.
Well,
hilarious.
yeah.
I did.
That's what
forget
I
about
thought
that.
you were going to talk about.
Oh, okay. Oh, well,
because I'm sure that one made you feel a lot better about yourself.
there's a lot of examples, but this one's pretty funny. So in the past year, you and I have been traveling quite often. Those are all funny stories. But we have this supplies suitcase that we bring with us. And originally we had this huge one or is this the huge one?
It was a huge one.
Oh, okay. It was Big Bertha.
Yeah, Big Bertha.
Not Mini Bertha. Okay.
No.
So we get this huge suitcase that it's too heavy and too large for me to carry. Mm-hmm. So I make you do it.
It's bigger than you are.
Yes, it's taller than me. We have pictures of that too. And we call her Big Bertha. And it has all of our supplies for our tabling at conferences. And we get to the airport. And this is like our third rodeo.
Oh, yeah.
At
It's
least
not
our
the
third
first
rodeo.
time bringing Big B to the airport.
Big
No.
B.
And just to be fair, we had her sized. We had brought the empty container.
All
we
the
had
things. We looked at the
estimated
credentials.
on the, yeah, we did all
we
the
are
things.
on top of it. We
Right.
don't
Well,
just
you did.
show up like,
You did.
hey.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do that for you.
Exactly.
I'm the detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you be embarrassed.
Right.
Which is why.
You do, which is what happened.
Which is why.
Yep.
When you have the details and the information,
Yep.
watch out.
Watch out.
So
I know.
we're there, and this is not our first rodeo, and we know all the rules and regulations. This woman behind the counter, I don't even know the airline, doesn't even matter. Behind the counter tried to charge you $450 to put this thing on the plane, and I was like, what? And so I started pulling up my information, all these things, and she is just being adamant and nasty to you. She's not even acknowledging me.
Yep.
When I'm the assistant,
Yep.
you're the celebrity, I'm the assistant, you speak to me. But because you had to lift Big Bertha onto the scale, she assumed you were in charge.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
I am very clear you're normally in charge.
Yep. I'll take over if I have to.
Not when it comes to this stuff.
Yep.
So I'm trying to manage the situation because I can see out of my side eye that we are.
Yep, we're going down.
It is not
this is not good.
And so at one point, you slammed your hand on the counter and said, ma'am, I have a PhD. I am educated. And do not speak to me like I am a toddler. And at that point, I think I slowly backed away with my license and my ticket to get on the airplane and thought, she may or may not be coming with me.
Because
we won't be getting Big Bertha, so I'll be sitting at that table by myself.
By yourself.
With no supplies.
She was not listening. She just kept saying, which is one of my biggest pet peeves. She just kept saying the same thing over and over again. It's $450. I don't know what information you got, but it was incorrect information. No, we can't change the price. It's $450. What would you like to do? I have other people in line, right? And I'm like...
And eventually, after you threw a holy hell fit, another woman came over and 100% was kind, sweet, empathetic, and you softened. And you said, she was like, let's troubleshoot this. Let's talk this through, blah, 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 all the things, right?
Absolutely.
And then we ended up with a beautiful compromise.
Yep.
And that's all you wanted from the beginning.
No, I never
Never.
throw out my
PhD?
degree.
Never.
Ever.
No.
I think it's tacky.
It is tacky.
It's so tacky. But in that moment, she was talking to me like I had lacking brain cells.
I know. And ignoring
that
me.
stuff. Yeah.
I know.
Right.
I know.
I do. I remember slamming the hand, all of it.
My other, you don't embarrass me. It makes me happy when you defend me.
Oh.
When you get right up into
Yep.
hilarious.
Nope. You're not going to do that either.
Yep. I know.
Absolutely
I know.
not. Nope.
I know.
So, isn't that interesting? I think that's a future podcast episode, right? The difference between empathy and boundaries. Is it possible to be a strongly empathic person who cares so deeply and at the same time not be a complete pushover?
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone in my life would describe me as a pushover. I think they'd say it was the opposite, right? We're real clear where that end of that line is. And it's not that I don't become empathic or I stop being empathic at that point. It's essentially that I'm real clear that you're infringing on a territory that's unfair.
Yeah.
And as a highly empathic person, it's important for me to know what that boundary is, or else I'll just constantly be taken advantage of, right?
100%.
So I think that's an interesting point to discuss.
But I think you learned that over the years.
Absolutely.
So I think that would be a great episode because you had to go through life and you had to accept your empathy and your compassion for people and then develop the boundaries.
I had to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story in the future about Fimo pens, right? Which is essentially a clay that you put on pens. And that really, for me, was a very defining moment of how I decided that my empathy wasn't my superpower, but it was a kryptonite for me. It was something that really had me at a complete loss and walked on and manipulated and uncared for, overburdened. And I think that it's so important for people to understand that empathy doesn't equate to being a pushover or constantly not having boundaries or always having to be the caring one. And in that situation at the airport, when that woman came in and said, how can we troubleshoot this with you? Immediately, when you said I softened, I was like,
100%.
Girl, speak in my language here, right?
That's
I'm willing to work with anyone, but if you're going to act in that particular way to me, there's no way I'm going to sit there and kill you with kindness, you know? So,
And as the customer, because you're so thrown off guard, you shouldn't be the one. You know, again, this is my superpower, right?
Yeah.
I would have been the one who's like, oh God, I'm about to charge her $400. So I'm going to say it. And then I could read your body language and I could be like, okay, that didn't feel good. Hey, you know, what can we do to fix this? Here are some options. And that's my superpower. I will come up with some things very, very quickly because I am all about the customer experience and helping someone get a win-win. But I'm also very role bound when it comes to policies and procedures, right?
So let's still walk out of there paying $450, but I got myself a thing of water and some airplane Chex Mix, and all of a sudden, you know, life is okay because you put the little bow around it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
I love that.
I know.
I love
Hilarious.
that.
All right. Are you ready for this last one?
Let me divert my eyes. And I'm back.
You ready for the last one?
I'm not sure if I can take you seriously with this hat on, but you're really sporting
it's coming up. It's coming up.
Yeah. I am ready for the last question. I think people have gotten a pretty good idea of who we are from this episode. I like it.
Okay.
You're really rocking that hat.
You like it?
Yeah, you're looking really good.
Okay.
Oh, no. What's the last one? I'm not ready.
How would Rebecca handle it if we drifted apart? You could even answer it for yourself.
Do you want me to just do a visual? How would Rebecca handle it if we drifted apart? It's hard for me to imagine that happening because neither of us would allow it to get there. We're so hyper vigilant about each other's personalities that if literally, like you said this morning, I call you at 8:47 and you're like, is she mad at me? I need to call her. I need to fix this, right? So I cannot imagine either one of us. We have such an onus for our relationship that we constantly are like, hey, I noticed this. Why? right? Or I haven't heard from, oh my gosh, do you remember the time that this was years ago. This was so far before where we are today. And you got mad about something and you didn't call me.
Oh yeah.
For like a week and a half. Maybe it was 9 days. On purpose.
Yes.
And finally I called you out of the blue.
Right.
And you said, did you realize that I haven't called you for 9 days? And I said, no, I didn't. And you were like, oh.
Right.
And I said, why, you mad? And you're like, well, I was. And I'm like, about what? And you told me whatever it was. And I said, listen, I'm not going to catch that stuff.
Right.
So if you're mad about something, you let me know what you're mad about and we'll handle it. But I am absolutely not going to notice you didn't call me for 9 days and that was the trigger for me to notice that you were somehow upset about something.
I know.
What a turning point, right?
Absolutely. But again, until people establish the vulnerability and the empathy and those kinds of things in relationships, you can never get there. That's why husbands and wives and partners can't get there because they're too scared to say how they're feeling because it won't be received or they'll be gaslighted or whatever.
Yeah.
And because we both meet each other where we're at and accept our idiosyncrasies and all the things, we can laugh. We are in the moment, in the trenches, and then we'll make fun of each other later.
Absolutely. You were allowed to have your 9-day moment.
Right.
I was allowed to absolutely ignore the whole thing and not recognize it was happening. And then we could both laugh about the fact that it happened. Right.
So now it's almost a running joke, but now we're very clear.
No, now it's hard. You would never go 9 days for two different reasons. One, you wouldn't allow yourself to go 9 days. And two, I would be like, do you understand that it's Monday at 8:45 and I haven't talked to you since Friday? Why? Right. So it is hard to say. Let's say, though, that we were to start to drift apart, which is, again, really hard for me to understand.
I'm getting nauseous.
Think about You would be in the corner, rocking back and forth, breathing heavily, saying, I don't like how I feel. I don't like how I feel. It wouldn't be good.
It would be really bad. It would be really bad.
It wouldn't be good.
Wait, remember when we both recently watched that show Dead to Me? Stop it.
Did I watch it?
Yes. Dead to Me with
oh yes,
with the girl who gets cancer. They're besties and she gets cancer and the whole thing.
Nope, I couldn't watch the end.
Had a reaction.
I watched the end. I'm like, I'm not okay. I called you immediately at the end.
I know.
When she passed away, and I'm like, I'm not okay. This is not okay.
You immediately went into, just so we're clear, you have to go first.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not doing that.
I know. Nope. We already planned. We had planned all. Yeah, planned all those things. I know. We have to have a end game plan.
I know.
Because it's going to be bad.
I know. And I'm happy if we have the end game plan, and I just am convinced that that's the end game plan, but
I know. It's not good. It's not going to be good.
No, that's not going to happen. So what would you do? It would not be pretty.
Nope.
It would not be pretty.
I would probably disengage from all things.
Yep.
I would stop eating.
Yep.
Stop. I would not do anything.
Yep.
It would be very bad.
Yep. And I love that about you. And in all reality, I know that about you.
I know.
And you trust me so much to not ever allow you to get to that place.
Yep.
And I think that is why the cards come out, right?
They have
before the vacation. Yeah. That is why the phone calls happen, right? Yep. Because the level of vulnerability and trust that exists in a relationship where you know that person has the ability to put you in a corner, shaking, crying, upset, and disengaging from the entire world, and knowing that there's no way that they would ever allow that to happen is the purest form of unconditional love.
100%.
Do you think people have a good idea of who we are?
I hope. I mean,
do you think they're still listening?
I don't know. This is getting a little sweaty.
I know. It is nice.
Oh, I clipped it to my clip.
I can't wait to see what comes next for us.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. I got my notebook.
Right.
I already started planning the props.
Yep.
Oh, I clipped my hair thing into it.
Stick with us.
There we go.
Bye.
I loved that.
Me too. Isn't empathy amazing?
Well, we're amazing. I don't know about all this empathy stuff.
That's fine. I accept you wherever you are.
Oh, God.
I love you.
I love you too.
And if you love us, please like and subscribe to More Love, the Power of Empathy podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
See you next time.